This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Is this the great Ron Garvin?
Yeah, only somebody, my favorite announcer. You were first, Gordon Soley was second.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
How about that, Ron?
Yeah.
Man, that means a lot, buddy. Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, that, you were very professional.
Well, thank you. You know, I may be the only announcer that rode with you in your single-engine plane from Atlanta to Charlotte.
Uh-huh.
So there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't scare you too bad?
No, you scared the shit out of me.
So what's going on?
Hey, we're talking about Starrcade 86. We're talking about the year of 1986. Say hello to Conrad Thompson.
Hey, how's it going, sir? How are you?
All right. How you doing, Conrad?
Man, better than we deserve. So delighted that you've got a few minutes for us today. We've just had a blast going week by week through 1986. And boy, you started the year off with a bang. We had a lot of fun watching your matches and your old promos. And our audience wants to know, where did the whole "proud to be an American" slogan come from?
Say that again. Being an American?
Yeah, you were doing promos and you would just casually slip it in with Tony Schiavone and Tony, I'm proud to be an American, but it became like a little catchphrase for 1986 for you.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. I am proud. So, you know, probably the best country on the whole entire planet. Ain't no doubt about it, really.
Hey, Ron, we were talking, we've been talking to a lot of wrestlers, and everybody we talk to, especially, and we got Tully Blanchard here on with us, talk about that. You know, Ronnie was a great worker, but that right hand of his, especially during a tape fist match, sometimes wasn't a working punch.
Yeah, a few tooth got knocked out. I think Tully lost one time. Every time I run into him, he reminds me. He gives me that look, you know, and he points to his mouth. I think it was an accident. I like Tully. I always liked it.
Yeah, but you know, Ronnie, we and Conrad, you can back me up on this. We've been watching the old studio shows, 1986. And it just seemed it seemed like that you really enjoyed stretching some of those kids, you know? I mean, I don't know. You were just, it kind of looked like it really hurt sometimes.
Well, you know, I enjoyed it because I went through the same thing when I broke into business. They did that to me. You know, back in '62, and I was up in Boston with Bull Montana, Bull Curry, and when I went south, they were old timers. They were all 40 years old. They were old to me because I was 19. You know, and yeah, I went through all that. That's what they did with you. They whacked you on the sides. They pinched your skin. They didn't break any bones or anything like that. But they blow you up. You're out of breath. You want to throw up. You know, that was a good way to break in somebody.
I get it. It's a wrestling podcast, but he's saving us money on our mortgage. You really trust this process? The reviews don't lie. 5-star review after 5-star review. We make it fast, we make it easy, and it's no cost or obligation. Give us a shot to earn your business. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did, especially if you like keeping more of your own money. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket. So what are you waiting for? Hurry to SaveWithConrad.com. I want to talk a little bit about 1986, specifically with the knockout punch. I mean, you had a pretty awesome segment with the Horsemen, specifically Flair, where, you know, you knocked him out on TV, and of course they denied it. And it really looked like you guys were building towards something. We know ultimately you get to main event Starrcade 87 and you get to become the world champion in 87. But do you remember it ever being discussed that you might have been in the main event of 86? Because it did feel like you and Flair had a bit of momentum, and then it just went another direction.
Well, I think it was a lot of politics. Personally, I think it was a lot of politics. I think the booker has a lot to do with it. That's something I encountered a lot of places, and I just didn't give a damn. I went about my business, and it's like the Rock and Roll Express. They were over like rock stars, and there was a few people who were jealous. I mean, I know it for a fact. But that's the way the world of wrestling was.
Yeah, you always seemed like you were pretty unfazed about the politics of wrestling, Ronnie. By the way, we're talking to Ron Garvin, who ended up having a street fight against Big Bubba in 1986 at Starrcade. And you was the first man to their feet would win. You got up. Cornette hit you in the back of the head with a racket. Big Bubba gets up and wins the match. And you were wrestling Big Bubba, who basically, Ron, if you'll recall, was pretty green at that time. He had a lot of exposure as Jim Cornette's bodyguard, but Ray Traylor was very inexperienced and very green. Do you remember much about that match or anything about working with Ray?
Oh yeah, that was a good match. I thought. I got a tape of it. Still do. Yeah, he was a big boy, I tell you. But I made him work. I think he earned his living that evening.
Yeah, anybody that worked with you earned their living. I can tell you that. I saw a lot of those matches. Jesus.
Well, there was no room there to be lazy. You got in the ring and people paid us hard-earned money to see something. You got to give them something. You can't just go out there and nonchalantly just lock up. You're dancing or something, or you're talking all the time. No action. I think that was a big part of some of the wrestling that a lot of people didn't like. I think they're still doing that today. A lot of talking, no action.
A lot of action anytime you were in the ring. Of course, at Starrcade 86, you took on Big Bubba. We actually saw Big Bubba early in 1986 on Jim Crockett TV as an enhancement talent. And before you know it, he was the heavy for Jim Cornette's Midnight Express. And you had a match with him at Starrcade. What do you remember about working with a very green, very young Ray Traylor?
Oh, he was good. He was good for being that green, And I ran into him about a year before he died. And bless his soul, man. He's first thing he brought up. That match him and I had. And too bad he didn't live very long, to be very old, but he did good when he went to WWF. So he was a talented guy, and he had the size. It's impressive.
Yeah, and for a big guy, he could bump. Okay, so Ron, now we're talking about 1986, but we do need to obviously touch on 87 because it was in Detroit. And I was there where you became the NWA World Champion, which not many wrestlers have ever claimed they could be. And that was a big moment. I don't know if you remember, but you and I and Ricky Morton went out to dinner in Greektown after that. And the guy with the violin came by and he played My Way for you.
Uh-huh.
And we got an airplane. And this is before the internet. We flew to Norfolk, Virginia. When I got off the plane, the girls there already knew you were the world champion. And I'm thinking, how did the girls in Norfolk know that Ron Garvin was the world champion in Detroit? Now, there's not even an internet, but that's another story. But I was just 1987, Ron, that was your year, buddy. That was your crowning achievement, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the best year I ever had. I really enjoyed it. But again, the politics came and interfered, in the end, and that's when I left the promotion. But, I had a great time, and I go way back with Mr. Crockett Sr., and, he really liked me. He used to call me in his office and said, come by more often, I want to talk to you. And I was pretty green the first time I went there. I was early 20s and kind of intimidated a little bit. Called me in the office and you happy here? Yes, sir. Anything you want me to do different? He was a very nice guy and very honest. Because he had told me he was going to take care of me. And after he died, well, everything changed, so I left.
Well, listen, we've had a great time talking about 1986, but I'm curious from your perspective, was that the best year of your Jim Crockett Promotions run? I know you're going to win the title in 87, but I think I've read and heard in interviews that maybe that wasn't your most fun year. What do you think was your most fun and most memorable year with Jim Crockett?
One of them was as a matter of fact, I think it was 72 when he died. About a year early, I came into Charlotte, and he had told me, I was partners with Terry Garvin at the time, tag team. He says, if you ever split the tag, he says, I want you to come as a single. Well, I like single wrestling better. And I came in, and he put me partners with Thunderbolt Patterson. And we sell out everywhere. It was unreal against the Andersons. It didn't last long. The run was probably, I don't know, just a few months. But, it was unbelievable. Thunderbolt Patterson was over like crazy. People would go, and I was over. And we were making damn good money for those days. And that's when he passed and everything changed. The booker got involved. This took me away from Thunderbolt. And, anyway, I left. That's simple in life. You don't like something, you leave. But that was one of the best years too, for the early times.
Ron, we appreciate your time, buddy. We really do. And I know that you're enjoying life right now, which you should, because you had a wonderful career. And you know what? I'm very excited that I was a part of it. I really am. When I look back on the times that I spent in wrestling in '87, was there when you won the title and traveled with you the next day, and it was a great time. Congratulations on the career, buddy. I know you're enjoying life right now.
Yeah, we're on our way to Florida right now. I'm speaking, I'm driving, and my wife is holding the phone.
All right, thanks for your time, buddy.
Oh, you're welcome. Keep in touch,
I really will. You too. You got my number now.
Yeah, I sure do. And Conrad, nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too, sir. Look forward to meeting you one day soon. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.